Happy to see you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever your time may be. So we're going to do Foundations, our phonics lesson. We're going to be focusing on two letters, M and N, and we're also going to review the letters that we've already learned. I'm going to be doing some awkward on my knees and sitting on a little stool. So I'm just crawling around. I'm just on my knees. So have that in your mind. There you go. And if I'm looking awkwardly to the side, because I'm looking at my computer screen to make sure that I'm filming things correctly. If your grown-ups are here, or just you yourself, these worksheets I put in that PDF packet that I sent in an email. These are optional. You don't have to do these, but it is really great practice for writing your letters and figuring out the letter sounds. So please do this if you are able to do it. All right. So we're going to go through our letter, keyword, sound. Let me look at my little notebook. There it is. We're gonna do some ABCs, our letter, keyword, sound. We're gonna skywrite. We're gonna do some. Does it start with this sound? And then I'm gonna do some sight word practice with you. So if you would like, these are two things you can have to be using when we do this lesson. The first one is something like this. It either looks like this, or it looks like, oops, wrong way. That one. I put it in your family folder, so if you have one of those, awesome. If you don't have one, you can look at mine, or if your grown-up sends me an email, I can send you one or print it off or whatever. The second thing is this. This is in your family folder in one of those middle sheets. You can use a dry erase marker, or you can just do it on a piece of paper. It's fine, as long as you're practicing. Okay, I'm going to put those off to the side. I'm going to put myself in this position. No, I'm going to put myself in this position because we are going to do our ABCs, but I'd like you to make sure you are looking at the letter, pointing at the letter when we do it. If you have an ABC chart, any kind of ABC chart, you can stay along with me. So you can press pause and go get that chart or just look with me. We're going to do it together. I should not be the only one doing this song. You know this song. Everybody has done this song in class. So we're going to do it together. Ready, steady, go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Notice I slowed it down. Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. I'm not going to finish it, but you know the end. So those are our ABCs. Notice I went as I hit something that makes noise. L, M, N, O, P. Those are all separate letters. We don't say L, M, N, O, P. That's not one letter. We got to slow it down so we hear the different letters that are in that. All right, we finished our ABCs. We're going to do our letter, keyword, sound. So I'm going to show you it. This means you are listening. This means you repeat. I did buy a little puppet that hopefully will come soon, and I can do it with that. I was going to wear my Halloween costume, but it's a big puffy one, and it didn't fit into the video. It was too big, so I tried. But okay, focused. B, bat, b. B, bat, b. We're gonna do it like dinosaurs. Roar. B, bat, b. You notice I'm making those sounds and I'm doing the hand. It's kind of giving you a guide how to say it. You can say it any slow or fast, but try to keep with me. All right. B, bat, b. Next one. T, top, t. Again. T, top, t. Now we're going to say it like dogs. T, top. Okay, now I'm going to say it like a baby. Mama, mama, T, top, t. All right, next one. My turn. F, fun. Look at the silly face. Hold on. Let me get real close. I got to make a silly face. You might spit a little bit while you do it. Go away, fly. Shoo, fly. Don't bother me. Mr. Phelps left the door open the other day and we got flies. Okay. F, fun. Your turn. You might spit a little. That's okay. Again, let's do it again. F, fun. Your turn. Okay, I'm going to do it like I'm a fireman. I don't know how a fireman would do it, so I'm going to use my imagination. Oh, fun. Your turn. All right, I'm going to do it like a flower. A flower, how a flower would do it. Have fun. Your turn. All right, next one. We're going to, oh my goodness, Mrs. Phelps, I forgot to tell you about these. I'm going to get to it when I do skywriting, so don't let me forget. I'm going to tell you about the plain line letters. These are 2 letters we're learning new this week. And last week, this is the letter M. M, man, don't worry about repeating it. And N, nut, So these are ones we learned last week. We did a skywrite, and I wrote on that. We're going to review them again. M, man, Your turn. My turn. M, man, Your turn. Now I'm going to do it in my deep, deep voice. Man, Your turn. Notice when I make the sound, are my lips open or closed? They're closed. When we do the letter N, you need to have your mouth open. And I'm going to make those silly faces to give you a reminder of how your mouth should be. So it goes N, nut, Your turn. My turn. N, nut, Your turn. Alrighty, now you can do it in any kind of silly voice you want. N, nut, Your turn. I know, my face is ridiculous. Now this is one we haven't done in our phonics program, but the Florida Virtual School Buzz has been showing it for your first lesson. So I wanted to pull this one in so we're all on the same page. This is the letter S. It is S, snake, S. All right, do it with me. S, snake, S. All right, my turn. Make sure you're listening. Oh, we forgot to turn our listening ears. Next time. S, snake, S. All right, your turn. Okay, now I'm going to do it like a snake. S, snakes. All right, your turn. What am I doing with my hands? I don't know. Okay, so those are our letter keyword sounds. I'm going to go through them really quickly, and we're going to do them. We'll do it together, okay? So together. Ready, steady, go. S, snake, S. M, man, N, nut, F, fun, T, top, T. B, bat, B. And we're back to our snake. All right, our next thing we're going to do is skywriting. So our skywriters, our dinky little fingers, or that whole arm, friend. It's that whole arm. I have my board, so all you need to do is trace with me when I do it on the board. But before I start, I wanted to talk about some of these letters and what we call them. So before I talk about that, let's review the lines. I hope you can see it really well. What's the top line called, friends? Skyline. And the middle line, the dotted line's called the plain line. Do you think I'm listening for you? I'm listening. And this bottom line here, what do we call this one? The grass line. And the very bottom one is the worm line. So take your skywriter and I want you to point either on yours or on mine to the plain line. You should point to the middle one. That's the plain line. All right, point to the worm line. It's the very bottom one. All right, next, point to the grass line. That's that one there. All right, last one, point to the skyline. There's like this little antenna thingy because Mr. Phelps does antennas and radios, and I keep whacking it with my ponytail. So if you hear that, I'm sorry. Okay, so you could do that on this one. See, it has the skyline, the plain line, the grass line, and the worm line. Or you can just look at mine. we are going to practice our skyline letters. Skyline letters are ones that start up at the skyline, because we always start our letters at the top, but the top might be the plain line if it's a short letter. So the skyline letters, when we start at the skyline, is F. So here's a nice little trick. If you need a dry eraser, a sock, an old sock is a great tool to use. Problem with this is this laminate does not erase very well. So I'm going to try. Here's my old sock. Thank you, Mr. Phelps, for having old socks that you didn't throw away, even though I asked you to. Okay, so we're going to start with the letter T. T is a skyline letter. So we're going to start at the skyline. So we're going to start at the skyline, down to the grass line, pick it up, cross at the plane line. My marker didn't write, so I'm going to cross at the plane line again. Cross at the plane line. All right, you can do that with your Skywriter, or you can be doing it on this paper here, or anything really. Let's do another T again. Skywriter up so you can do it with me. We're going to start at the skyline, down to the grass line, pick it up, cross at the plane line. All right, that's the letter T. Now, it's not going to erase amazingly beautiful. Is it okay if my board's a little bit messy? Yeah, because that doesn't stop our learning. We'll still be able to see. All right, so that was T, top, T. It's a skyline letter. Start at the skyline, down to the grass line, pick it up, cross at the plane line. You should be skywriting or marker writing with me. Okay, next letter is B, bat, B. What is it? B, bat, B. This is also a skyline letter. So I'm going to start at the skyline, down to the grass line. This is important. Trace to the plane line and curve it back. Did I pick up my marker, pen, crayon, whatever? Did I pick it up at all? No, I did not. I only used one line. Again, Skywriter is up, or you're doing it on yours. The letter B is a skyline letter. So I'm going to start at the skyline, down to the grass line, trace to the plane line, curve it back. Now, I left a little space there. You might not see it on the camera, but there's a little space. That's okay. That tells me I did the letter correctly. Again, Skywriter up or doing on your own paper. Letter B, skyline letter. Start at the skyline, down to the grass line, trace to the plane line, curve it back. All right, B, bat, B. Okay. Erase, erase, erase. Well, this is way messier than it was when I practiced, but we're going to make it work because that's what we do. Okay, our next letter. We finished T, we finished B, now the letter F. And this one is also a skyline letter, but it's got a special trick to it. I don't start on the skyline. I'm going to go a little bit below the skyline so I can curve back. It tries to trick you, but you're smarter than that little letter. You're smarter than those two little lines that make the lowercase f. So you show that lowercase f that you're not going to fall for its tricks, okay? All right, we're going to start a little bit below the skyline. It's still a skyline letter. And I'm going to curve back to the skyline, down to the grass line, pick it up, cross at the plane line. All right, let's do that again. I'm going to start below the skyline. I'm going to curve back to the skyline, down to the grass line, pick it up, cross at the plane line. All right, I'm going to see if I switch markers and if that will just help it or make it worse. Who knows? Oh, I know that color was super messy when I practiced with it. All right, I'm going to do F one more time. Skywriter's up or on your own paper. Remember, Skywriter is not your baby finger. It's the whole arm. You're getting a whole workout. It starts at your shoulder. That's where you're moving from, your shoulder. All right, skyline letters. So for the lowercase f, fun. Start below the skyline, curve up to, or curve back to the skyline, down to the grass line, pick it up, cross at the plane line. That brown was not much better, but I hope we get the point. And grown-ups, if you're watching this and if I am being confusing, or kids, whatever, if I'm being confusing or you can't see it clearly enough on the video, please let me know. I do go back and I watch them, but I don't watch every part of it. So if I miss something that's just not clear, I'm happy to know that. Okay, so I'm not going to teach you how to write the letter S yet because I'm not to that point yet. I'm going to just focus on these two new letters, M, oops, M and N. Now, T, B, and F, as I throw all my things around, T, B, and F, these were skyline letters because we started at the skyline. But M and N, those are plain line letters because they start at the plain line. So it's still the top. We're not starting at the grass line, but it's the top of the letter. So even though it's not a skyline letter, it still starts at the top, which is on the plain line. So, N, nut, N. We're going to write it like this. Letter N, it's a plain line letter. It starts at the plain line, down to the grass line, trace to the plain line, do one bump. All right, did I make one line or two lines, friends? One line. It is one line. You don't pick up your pencil, pen, crayon, or anything. You're going to start at the plain line, down to the grass line, trace to the plain line, do one bump. All right, get your Skywriters up or your paper. Skywriters up, whole arm, start at the plain line, down to the grass line, trace to the plain line, do one bump. What letter is that, friends? Oh, I can't hear you. Can you say it a little louder? N, nut, N. I guess I just asked you what the letter was called instead of its letter keyword sound. So, whatever you want to give me. All right, last letter we're going to be working on. This is why I didn't want to do the blue because it makes such a big mess, but it's our last letter. Desperately trying to erase it quickly. Why do you never do this in the classroom? Sorry, Mr. Phelps' sock. All right, letter M. M goes M, man, Your turn. This is a plain line letter. So it starts at the plain line, still at the top, and it's almost exactly like the lowercase n, but we go a little extra. This is still one line. I don't pick up my pencil or pen. One line only. I'm going to start at the I'm going to start at the plain line, down to the grass line, trace to the plain line, trace to the plain line, do two bumps. I don't think that's the exact same rhyme I gave last video. That's one of the things I have a hard time with is making up my rhymes, remembering the rhymes. I don't do the exact same ones every single time. So I'm sorry, friends. If you have a better rhyme than me, keep doing it. All right, it's a plain line letter. So I'm going to start at the plain line, down to the grass line, trace to the plain line, trace to the plain line, do two bumps. I'm going to practice that. I'm going to work on that. Maybe in my next video I'll do a little bit better. And that's okay. All right. So we're going to move on. This is actually quite a long video. So what I'm going to say is if you want to take a break, pause it, and you can come back. Okay? So if that's something you want to do, take a break and come back, go for it. Alrighty, I'm going to erase this. I don't really need to erase it. I wanted to do some sight words. We're going to practice our sight words really quick, and then that's all I have for this video. These sight words are in your language arts Buzz Florida Virtual School lessons, so I want to give you a little extra practice. I'm going to hold the word up to the camera, and then I'm going to stick it to the wall. This word is see. What is this word? Listen. See. Repeat. Let's spell it. S-E-E. Again, I hope you're doing this with me because I already know how to read this word. It's you that needs to practice. If you already know how to read this word, practice anyway. All right, let's spell it. S-E-E. Now read it to me. See. Okay, I'm going to stick it up there for now. Next word. He. Read it. He. Listen. He. Your turn. He. Let's spell it. H-E. Let's do it together. H-E. So So if you know the letter names, do it with me. If you don't know the letter names, listen very carefully and repeat it with me. I do it a few times. So read the word he. Spell the word H-E. He. Okay, next one. We're going to read my favorite sight word today, like. Let's read the word like. Let's spell the word L-I-K-E. Read it, like. Spell it, L-I-K-E. Read it, like. Next word. Oh, such a challenge. This is just a letter. Maybe it's even upside down. It's definitely not that. This is a letter, but it's also a word. It's I. So when I say I, like ice cream, you're talking about yourself. I am Mrs. Phelps. I am making very long videos. I need a break, but we're almost done. So what is this word? I. All right. This one is also when you're talking about yourself. This word is my. Read it, my. Spell it, M-Y. Read it, my. Let's spell it again, M-Y. Read it, my. That is my pencil, my TV, my card with sight words. All right, last word for this group. This word is the. Read it, the. Spell it, T-H-E. Read it, the. Spell it, T-H-E. Read it, the. All right, now I'm going to show you some fun stuff that we can do with this. I can move these words and say, I see my toothbrush. Oh, wait a second. Toothbrush starts with a letter I know. T, top, t, and toothbrush. Do those start with the same letter? Yes, they do. Okay, so now I can switch these. How about instead of I see my, I can say I see the magazine. So let's read this together. Oops, quiet wire antenna. I see the magazine. And ooh, magazine. Does magazine start with nut or, nut, N or M? Magazine starts with M. Okay, I'm going to move these around a little bit, and maybe I want to say I like my, oh, I like so many things. I like my necklace. Let's read it together. I like my necklace. Ooh, necklace. Does necklace start with F? I can't hear you. Does necklace start with F? I hope you're saying, no, Mrs. Phelps, it doesn't. It starts with N. Necklace. Okay, I'm going to do one more. This one's my favorite. I see the, what is this, you guys? Fork. I see the fork. Now, does fork start with B, or does fork start with F? Which one does it start with? Point to it on the screen. Wait, F or B? Which one? Ooh, it starts with F. I'm watching it backwards on myself. Fork starts with F. Fork. Alrighty, my dear wonderful kindergarten friends, you could write out these sight words and make your own. All I did was put a piece of tape on the back. This is just index cards that you can get at the Dollar Tree for like 100 of them, or let me know and I'll get you some. And you can put them up on your wall. Another fun game that you can play with your grown-up's permission, only if your grown-up says it's okay. I'm going to move these and I'll show you how to play this game really quick before we end this one. So I just kind of spaced them out. But a game you can play with these sight words is you make a ball, like out of a piece of paper or an actual ball or whatever, and your grown-up is going to tell you a word. Okay, child, why don't you throw the ball at the word the? That's what your grown-up sounds like in my mind. And then you look at the sight words, which one says the? And then I throw the ball at the correct word. Now, aiming and reading are two different things. So, whatever you want to do with it. Maybe my grown-up will say, okay, small child, now it's Mommy's turn or Grandma's turn, and you're going to throw the ball at the word my. And I look, and I try to find the word my, and I throw it at the word my. So anything you do, I dropped my microphone, so I hope you heard that. I'm not redoing it. Anything you do to help you with these sight words is great. Read them in a book. Find them in a book. Write them everywhere. Do a treasure hunt where you have to hide them up on the ceiling or something and find the words. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. Have a great rest of your day, evening, whatever it may be.